If you're unaware of what's been going on in the real estate industry, buckle up because there has been massive shakeup. Long story short, something has been kept under wraps for a little too long, and it's something that hits right at the heart of what it means to buy or sell a home in America. I'm talking about the seismic fallout from the class action lawsuit against the National Association of Realtors, or NAR, the behemoth behind the curtains of the housing market. And before you think, oh, this doesn't concern me, I'm not a realtor, or I'm not buying a house right now, think again. This is not only about your rights and your wallet, it's about the very fabric of the American dream being manipulated by industry giants. Make sure to watch this full video to find out how the NAR has been manipulating the market and what we are actively doing to realign things after this mass manipulation has occurred for years. First off, one benefit of this litigation: consumer rights. This settlement isn't just a win, it's a revolution in consumer protection and market transparency. We've been trusting NAR to navigate us through one of life's biggest investments for ourselves and for our clients, but it turns out we might have all been navigating a rigged game. Next up, what it affects: market impact. Real estate isn't just about buying and selling homes. It's a cornerstone of our economy that will never stop. Any shift in this pillar of operations sends shockwaves across the country, affecting everything from not only your home's value, but national economic health. Finally, the power of unity. This lawsuit underscores the might of collective action. When we band together, we can challenge the status quo and demand accountability, setting a precedent that resonates far beyond a single industry. Primarily, what everyone is talking about is how the NAR settlement is a bombshell that could rewrite the playbook on how real estate commissions are doled out. But commissions aren't paid to NAR, they're paid to real estate agents. And these little fishy agents are not the industry I'm talking about. The giant that has manipulated the industry is the NAR that has controlled these agents by forcing pricey memberships into the local associations through NAR to secure access to home sale listings. I'm talking about the multiple listing service, the MLS. Agents pay through the nose for access to the MLS and must pay for MLS access in every area, which differs place to place. And to have access to the MLS, agents have to be members of NAR and local associations, for which there's more charges. For those of you thinking it's easy and affordable to be a real estate agent, think again. It ain't easy. It ain't affordable. On top of that, there's continuing education classes, there's fees, licensing fees, marketing fees, but one of the costs you always have to depend on is that for the MLS as well as for your local associations. It is true that agent commissions drive up the cost of the home purchase because sellers put it into their expenses of what they're going to have to spend when they sell the home. But agents provide a valuable service on both sides, and commissions provide a reasonable means for home buyers and sellers to pay for these services by rolling the cost into the mortgage. Without this funding mechanism, home buyers and sellers will either have to find an alternative way to pay their agents or go without agents. If you have ever bought or sold a piece of property, you know it's not like pumping your own gas. These negotiations are some of the most important a person may undertake and involve probably the most expensive commodity most private citizens will ever purchase. A home sale transaction involves contract negotiations where an agent's experience gets you the fairest price, helps you find a good and reliable lender, ensures proper inspections are made and warranties are given, and an experienced agent knows how to renegotiate prices when necessary, such as after an inspection or after a low appraisal. While many people may think they do not need an agent and can do it themselves, they'll just use the agent on Zillow, the seller's agent. Well, what they don't know is that agent that's on Zillow is not the seller's agent. And Zillow is a National Association of Realtors brokerage. And when you are using a Zillow agent, you are taking an agent that paid for that marketing space on that listing or is paying a referral fee to Zillow as a broker for getting them as a client. You might as well have used somebody that you know, trust, and like, because why would an agent pay for this marketing space or for you as a client through Zillow? Well, because they know that you are looking on Zillow first for your home, and they're willing to pay lots of money for you as a client. Even though there's been talk of DIY, the preference is still for people to use a buyer's agent or a seller's agent because they feel that the agent offers a valuable service that people want. Undoubtedly, these services will change with the use of technology, but as long as contractual negotiations remain a part of the real estate transaction, experienced agents will provide a great contribution to the industry. What was this class action lawsuit about anyway? Sellers were talking about how unfair it has been that under the NAR's control, they were forced to pay the buyer's commission and that the commissions were being price fixed at 6%. For example, let's say the average commission that a seller's agent was paid was 6%, with 3% going to them as a seller's agent, then 3% going to the buyer's agent. Why did this practice develop? Well, sellers thought it created an incentive for other agents to bring in their buyer clients and got more eyes on the home. What now that this NAR requirement is gone? Will sellers stop paying buyer commissions? They can, and that's an important no. But here's the kicker. What does this mean for how commissions will be paid in the future? If the sellers aren't footing the bill, the logical next step is the buyer. Imagine, as a home buyer, having to borrow more for your mortgage to cover your agent's commission at closing. This raises the entry barrier even higher, making the dream of home ownership even more elusive than ever before. I wouldn't say this creates either a fairer market or more affordable housing. In fact, it does the exact opposite. So, equally important is the transparency and freedom of which each agent, buyer, and seller will have to negotiate the commissions that are right for them and that transaction. Now, perhaps it truly will be an incentive for a seller to offer to pay a buyer's commission because now the buyer is coming up with the money to pay his or her agent out of their own pocket or go without representation. Now, so will the settlement really slash exorbitant costs tied to buying or selling a home? Maybe. It could mean more money in your pocket and a fairer market for all to afford homes. But is it a fair market where some people have representation and others don't, simply because they cannot afford it? This creates a particularly troubling imbalance if only sellers have agents and buyers don't. So I personally am not understanding this yay, no buyer's agent commission thing that we're trying to press as a community. I do believe the NAR settlement will drive down housing costs, but not necessarily because agent commissions will be drastically reduced. Here's what I foresee may happen. First, agents will be able to develop more creative and appropriate pricing. Agents have been locked into commissions as the only means of compensation. We may spend hours, days, weeks, months, sometimes years searching the MLS and communicating with clients about listings they like, setting appointments, taking clients to view homes. But if the client doesn't buy, the agent gets nothing. When representing a seller, there's a little bit more certainty of reimbursement for listing efforts, which include working with the homeowner to make necessary cosmetic improvements, staging the home, paying a photographer, posting the MLS listing, taking calls, holding open houses, conducting negotiations, etc. And in some cases, especially when representing a buyer, it may be much better for both the client and agent to have an hourly arrangement until the buyer decides to make an offer. Then, perhaps the agent should charge a transactional fee, or if the client wants to utilize the agent's negotiation experience and skills, then they pay a commission at closing. All of these options are now possible. Before the NAR settlement, they were not really recognized as a thing or encouraged. Second, and perhaps most important, the NAR settlement has opened the door to MLS competitors. This will be the biggest driver for reducing real estate costs because it will drive down the expense of doing business for realtors, which in turn will enable them to charge less for their services. The traditional MLS might soon become a thing of the past, paving the way for a plethora of listing services and possibly freeing agents from broker commissions or raising costs for them because they're paying for more access to different websites. But also, for you as the consumer, it could make looking for a home much more daunting going through all the various websites. As for real estate professionals, expect to see alternatives to NAR like Area, which is run by some heavy hitters like Mauricio Mansky from the agency and Jason Haber with Compass. And brokerages such as Remax, Redefine, and Realogy are leaving NAR, meaning that they are comfortable with their market share despite cutting ties with the stronghold of the MLS. But here's the catch with joining any association. They're often steered by a select few, which can lead to decisions based on self-interest rather than the communal good. Remember when I said buckle up and double check that it's on, because here's where things go a lot better if you just go in with an open mind. I'm going to introduce you to the REALiVerse, where a decentralized real estate industry is being built, governed by the people, for the people, using blockchain technology to foster a more balanced world. The REALiVerse is the final frontier for our flagship, Real Gratitude. With the potential demise of the NAR, this venture becomes more attainable than ever before. How did such a grandiose idea begin? The idea of harnessing real estate transactions for the community growth was born during the COVID pandemic. Here I was at the onset of COVID, newly minted realtor and actor in Glendale, California, with both the entertainment and real estate industries at a standstill. I found myself battling depression, but I've always believed in the power of giving back when I'm feeling low. And even before the pandemic, I was volunteering with local nonprofits in the LA area. Still trying to abide by orders to stay inside, but wanting to be of service, I created a Facebook group for my community, Glendale Gratitude. It wasn't long before people started reaching out, not only for resources in the community, but also for help with real estate, leading to the birth of Real Gratitude, where each transaction benefits the community. At first, it was donuts and coffee for first responders, but now it's grown into neighborhood drives or donations for things such as Halloween costumes for children experiencing homelessness, sports equipment for the Boys and Girls Club, blankets and kibble for an animal shelter, or even sometimes it's as simple as paying for our veteran clients' closing costs. In short, every real estate transaction generates a way to uplift at least someone in the community. Most of the time that takes place as a neighborhood connection campaign, where I door knock the neighborhood for a local nonprofit of my real estate client's choice. I've now developed a training program to teach real estate professionals at any stage, even pre-licensure, how to be a Real Gratitude agent. It could stop there, but the vision reaches beyond Real Gratitude and what we can do for the community by harnessing marketing for public benefit using our 501c3 Real Gratitude Cares. The REALiVerse also includes Real Change DAO, which is a blockchain-based communal fund that is democratically controlled by its members to engage in projects of their choice that will rebalance our communities. For more info on what a DAO is, make sure to subscribe to my channel because that'll be the next YouTube video I release. Last but not least, the REALiVerse includes a development stage blockchain-backed MLS for a transparent, efficient transaction process that is currently invite-only for vendors and homeowners, including investors. To join our waitlist, comment waitlist below to set up a Zoom to learn more. For real estate agents curious about joining this revolution, we offer broker-agnostic options for real certifications, such as how to connect with your community, as well as blockchain basics, or even private coaching. There's also options to only join the DAO to help with funding, membership fees, and donations. Another option is take it to the extreme and join the official team with EXP and Real Gratitude for the utmost benefits and access, along with an $8,000 a year max out to your brokerage with no membership fees for Real Gratitude. Looking to join EXP but not on our team? Join with me as your mentor and have the benefit of offering our team accessibility to anyone who joins you at EXP for no additional fees for membership for them. Home buyers or sellers looking to make a difference? Simply reach out and I'll connect you with a Real Gratitude agent in your area who embraces the real ethos, making your real estate dreams a reality while uplifting your community. To dive deeper into the transformative approach, follow REALiVerse.space on Instagram for daily content And don't forget to hit subscribe to stay updated on how we're reimagining the real estate landscape for the betterment of all. Because together, we're not just buying and selling homes. We're rebuilding communities, one transaction at a time. And remember, in the REALiVerse, it's not just about change. It's about having real gratitude for real change. Thanks for watching, and make sure to comment your questions and thoughts below.